home, readjustments of ex-offenders to the free world. And of course, Pastor KWalker has given us some excellent information in reference to that. And now, of course, Pastor Walker, what we'd like for you to do is to identify some of these issues that sort of keep these individuals from being able to become involved in society and et cetera. And I think that if we can do that over this segment, then we can call it an end for an excellent show, I believe, today.
All right. Well, one of the things, and I had mentioned this on another show that we had done together, Dr. Haney, and that was the fact that individuals are being released from state custody and incarceration, I should make it clear, and they don't have an identification. They release people out. In a lot of situations, I have had guys come into my program. They will release them from a prison somewhere in West Tennessee or wherever, and they'll put them on the bus, no identification whatsoever. They got a parole certificate in their hand and whatever personal belongings they may have, and they'll put them on the bus. They won't inform us that they're on their way, that they've been released or anything, and they'll send a lot of these people to Nashville that have never lived in Nashville or what have you, and then they'll get to the bus station and they're just lost. We don't know they're coming. They're here, they don't know what to do, then they don't have any identification. They're in a bad situation right there. And that's when I say victim. And people say, Dr. Haney, well, he's just guy, he's soft on crime, he's been to prison, he's been through that. I'm not soft on crime. You know, I think for an individual commits a crime, he ought to pay the penalty for the crime. I mean, I was a crook, I did crimes, I paid the penalty for it, I've overcome all of that, I triumphed over all that stuff. And now it's important that people understand that individuals need an opportunity. People need a chance. People need a chance to overcome their past failures, their past faults, and make that adjustment back into society. Because you got to realize, regardless of the crime that the individual committed, they still got some people that love them. Society as a whole might not love them, but they got some family members that do love them. They got some friends that still love them and that are willing to help them make that adjustment. The problem is they get out, there no IDs, and then you go to a company trying to get a job, and then you got somebody with a shady past themselves or a shady present for that matter, and then they saying, well, we got to do a background check on you, and they got to run back, and because you got something in your background, they're going to penalize you for that in terms of saying, well, since you committed a crime in 1988, now you can't feed your children in 2006. What kind of sense does that make? You know, my children are hungry. They need to eat just like anybody else's children. So why can't I be afforded the opportunity to contribute to society? But at the same time, you penalize me, you turn me into a victim, and then when in frustration of trying to find a job, trying to fit back into society, when I get frustrated and revert back to my old ways because I have to live, I have to wear clothes, I have to eat, you know, I have to provide for my family. So when I go back, when I try your way, and you want to accept me when I'm trying it your way, then I go back to my way. Now you want to criticize and condemn me for falling into the trap that you dug and set for me. What am I supposed to do in a situation like that? It's hard out here for people that have a criminal past to make that adjustment back in society. And society needs to realize that. And we need to stop saying victim, 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 victim. What about the ones that suffer from the crime? Well, I have sympathy for the ones that suffer from the crime. No ifs and buts about that. But you take the individuals that committed the crime, they went through this the justice system. They stood before a judge. The DA stated his case, made his claim. The judge, the jury went forth. They sentenced that person. They convicted him. They sentenced him. That person went into the system. That person did their time. They have satisfied the judgment of society that society placed upon them. Now they're ready to come back into society. Then why do I get a life sentence for a 2-year conviction? Why is it that I can't vote? Why is it that I got to come out here and struggle trying to get identification? I got to come out here struggle trying to get a job, you know, just to be able to do all the necessary things or all the essential things that everybody in a free world society have been afforded the right to do. Why can't I have that? You know, just because I committed a crime one time doesn't mean, Dr. Haney, that I'm going to come out and do the same thing over again. But you increase my chances of recommitting or reoffending when you consistently put roadblocks and stumbling blocks in my pathway, when you systematically set me up to fail.
And each time you fail, you go back into the system and you cost the government, the state, more money because now they have to, you can't be a taxpayer or anything, and you're just there, warehoused again. Well, now, would it make sense for the state to start thinking in terms of using some of these individuals? That is, create some special kinds of programs for them so that they might be able to use the manpower, whatever they were doing when they were incarcerated. You know, they got some kind of job doing now. If they were working in inventory and et cetera while they were incarcerated, then the state